Hello! Welcome to Design Diaries. We are your hosts, Ryan
and Natalie, and this is your local and global destination for all things influential in arts, culture, and fashion, every Tuesday.
We are so excited to be bringing fashion and art news content to the Daily Beacon. Here's where we will report updates in the fashion and arts community, showcase student style and artwork, host mini segments about all things fashion and design, as well as show you all that the world of design is something that everyone can be a part of.
So before we begin, we should probably tell you a little bit about ourselves and what drives our passion for fashion and art. So you want to go first?
Well, my name is Ryan Rodriguez and I'm a sophomore here at UT. I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, and I basically grew up with a paintbrush in my hands. I've always loved the creativity and self-expression that art and design has offered, and I'm pursuing a degree in graphic design as well as journalism. Now, why don't you tell us about you, Natalie?
Okay, well, I'm Natalie Welch. I'm a sophomore majoring in journalism, and I was also born and raised in Nashville, Tennessee. So Ryan and I have a special bond. We have known each other for over half a decade now. For as long as I can remember, we've been gushing over runway shows, shopping together, and dreaming of faraway places. This segment was born out of a longing to combine his eye for visual design and menswear, and my aptitude for contemporary fashion and culture.
Which brings us here to Season 1, Episode 1 of Design Diaries, the pilot, if you will. And what better time to start than during Fashion Month?
So, to give you a little rundown on Fashion Month, the Big Four refers to the four major hubs in the fashion industry: New York City, London, Milan, and Paris. Fashion weeks have been a tradition for over 75 years, and New York City was the first. Initially, the purpose of Fashion Week was for designers to parade their fall collections in front of fashion editors, possible buyers, and as well to gain popularity. However, it has evolved to include a celebration of the merge of fashion and art, with the industry's most important figures in attendance.
Between the 4 weeks, over 150 shows took place, and the designers that make a lasting impression are those that create a ceremony for their collections.
And to open the season of worldwide fashion weeks, we must dive into the noise of New York City. Every year, New York Fashion Week happens from February 3rd through February 12th. When given the choice between Milan and New York, Milan resident and director of one of the top brands in fashion, I'd say,
so.
Donatella Versace responded with New York, always.
New York City is the place where the industry gets serious about challenging its attendants' artistic eyes, whether they are designers, photographers, or just regular consumers. The top shows from this week include Michael Kors, Marc Jacobs, Rogearte, and Tom Ford.
And the most striking being Marc Jacobs. Inspired by a golden age in fashion, the 1960s, the collection was classy and chic, referencing the famous personal style of fashion icon and First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy. The daywear looks used structured fabrics and was mostly absent of patterns, making it easier on the eyes to digest the subtle elegance. It was full of neutrals with carefully selected pops of color. The show also showcased a familiar face. The iconic Miley Cyrus made her runway debut in a black bra trousers with arm-length leather gloves. So in summation, Jacobs used nostalgia in his collection to create an important cultural fashion moment. So now let's sail across the sea for the next step in Fashion Month, London Fashion Week. The iconic event starts on Valentine's Day and ends February 18th. London's global ranking in business and spirit of creativity and collaboration make it the perfect host for designers and innovators, big or small, who are moving the industry forward beyond the runway.
This week's top shows include Burberry, Vivienne Westwood, Christopher Kane, and Victoria Beckham. One show that stood out to us was Richard Malone.
And if you've never heard of Richard Malone, he is an important figure when it comes to progress within the fashion industry. Since the founding of his brand, sustainability has been a focus for this designer. As for his collection, Malone displayed 26 looks to kill. Each look had a different combination of important elements of fashion design, such as hemlines, fabrics, textures, patterns, and color. Malone is evidence that responsible fashion practices still make for killer collections that are full of elegance and allure.
Now, let's hop on a plane and fly over to Milan and see what happened there. Hosted in the world's global capital for fashion and design, Milan Fashion Week never fails to impress the elite audience that it attracts. Known for its upscale restaurants and shops, Milan Fashion Week showcases some of the most high fashion brands in the world. And this runs from February 18th through February 24th every single year.
And some fashion shows that caught the design world's attention in this year's 2020 Milan Fashion Week are Prada, Gucci, Versace, Fendi, and Moschino. Playful garments with a twist of elegance were a big trend at this year's shows. Exaggerated bulky jackets and unique long dresses with a dark color palette were also reappearing.
A fan favorite, as usual, was Versace's fall collection. Showing the brand's beauty through versatility in styles and design, the show displayed an array of styles. These styles included little black dresses, form-fitting dresses, exciting crystal-studded dresses, power suits, and sportswear-inspired fall garments. Versace proved why it's a dominating force in the world of fashion. The iconic Kendall Jenner closed the fall Versace show in a sheer silver dress and crystal-studded heels.
And as much as we would love to tell you guys about Paris Fashion Week, that A-list event started yesterday, the 24th.
And we couldn't skip class, hop on the jet, and go report live for you guys.
Yes.
So come back next Tuesday, and we'll give you Design Diaries scoop on it.
Mm-hmm. So thank you so much for tuning in into the first episode of Design Diaries. And you can find us on social media here. And we can't wait to show you all the content that we have in store for you.
Click our videos every Tuesday for your weekly dose of creativity.
Bye!